Damn. Y'all feel that?
Yeah. 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 A message to all you pseudo spitters. The sound is cool, but the trend I see is the truth is missing. I feel the flow is stupid. You claim that the music's different. I guess it's all opinion, depending on who was listening.
What's the word, y'all? This is KTR underscore podcast. Hashtag KTR. We are KTR. We are back in the building for episode 68 of No Roast Podcast. Hashtag KTR. We are KTR. We are back in the building. And yes, we are live and direct with this new episode we got coming out to y'all. But before we dive into this episode, I got to check in with my brothers, Big Harv and J-Bo himself. And my brothers, how are y'all feeling today? Yeah.
I'm doing great. I don't know about Mr. Smooth Operator Cinko over there, but I'm doing terrific.
Yeah, I didn't know this was the Quiet Storm edition of KTR podcast, but here we go.
Oh, yes. Call me Teddy Pendergrass today because we're going to Teddy Pin that. Anyway, before we dive into this episode 68, we're going to do this one simple thing for us. Y'all got to do a simple thing for us too. And that's just a little favor. And that is to also all social media podcasts, KTR underscore podcast, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. No Roast Podcast, Facebook and YouTube. No Roast Podcast, all podcast platforms. We got Google Podcasts, we got Spotify, we got Anchor, we got Apple Podcasts, we got probably on everything. And don't forget to get that merch at ProWrestlingTees.com/KTR podcast.
Take that.
Now let's get into the show and see how it go. First and foremost, we are on the road to WrestleMania right now. Yes, we talked a little bit about WrestleMania last episode. I get that. But you got to have some predictions here now. We didn't do that just yet. And we're going to do this on this episode because the next time we will record our episode, it'll be the weekend of WrestleMania. And we're not going to do that because we know good and damn well that nobody's going to watch a show or listen to a podcast during WrestleMania week. And we just going to be real with that. And so, then by the time we record, it's before WrestleMania, and the WrestleMania going to be over. So it doesn't make sense. So we're not going to have y'all wait. We're not going to parade and lollygag and wait for the episode. The show must go on the road, and we are going to get this done. So, my phone locked. I'm sorry.
Dude.
I got 5 minutes of my phone locked. So, yeah, but we're supposed to talk about the matches that's on the card right now. So, I'm going to need one of my co-hosts to help me out because currently I am locked out of my phone until 4 minutes and 46 seconds. So, Big Harv for J-Bo, take it away.
All right, let's go down these matches. And I guess we can start off with let's start off with the women's match. You know, Harv's favorite female wrestler, Charlotte Flair.
Oh, yes, the GOAT.
One with Rhea Ripley. Let's just go ahead and start with Harv. What you think about your favorite in-ring female competitor going up against mommy Rhea Ripley?
If Rhea Ripley doesn't win, there should be a riot. There absolutely should be. Charlotte has no point in having the title anymore. She hasn't done anything with it since she's had it. The feud has been lackluster. They haven't really done enough together to me in order to build it. But, I mean, Royal Rumble builds itself, basically. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I think it's going to be a really good match, really solid match. They're both really good workers. But it has to be Rhea Ripley. Has to be.
I'll take it from here, Cinko. I agree with Big Harv. We all know that Charlotte got the belt, not just because, I guess you could say, wrestling, in-ring, or whatever. It's because of popularity and because of trust. I know we talked numerous times in this episode about women, that they don't have enough women to main event WrestleMania. They do. They definitely do now. It's just that they had too much trust in Charlotte, so she was a safe bet. So that's why they threw the belt on her just a few months before Mania. Rhea Ripley, I mean, even though she hasn't been in that many prominent matches since, you know, she joined Judgment Day, she's popular. She's super popular. Thus led to her win the Royal Rumble, thus leading her to our match now. When they wrestled at the COVID version of WrestleMania, Charlotte won the victory in that. So it's only just for Rhea Ripley, especially with the momentum that she has, not only in her own character, but in the faction of Judgment Day. It is only just for Rhea Ripley to take the belt. So I'm going with Rhea.
I'm in a pickle with this one. It's hard. It's really hard for me because it's the GOAT, probably my favorite, women's wrestler of Charlotte Flair against my wife of Rhea Ripley. So I'm like, it's hard to like pick who do I think should win.
Hmm?
It's really difficult. I'm in between. In my opinion, I feel like Charlotte should just retain. I feel like she should retain the title because with that, it just plays part with this whole storyline going on with Judgment Day. If it's gonna be the end of Judgment Day, then I'll say give the title to Rhea. If it's not and they still continue to go on, I'll say keep it on Charlotte Flair for the time being.
Now, when it comes to tag teams, you cool with them chasing single titles. Why are you not cool with Rhea Ripley winning a singles title while being a part of Judgment Day?
Because right now Judgment Day is like it's too much going on right now, honestly. But it makes sense. It's good for them because it makes it seem like they're all going like their separate ways. Because you see, like with Finn Balor, he got his own vendetta with Edge. You see, Rey Mysterio's son got his thing with Rey Mysterio, and Damian Priest is just out there, just dominating like the mid card match and stuff like that. So it's like a lot of things going on with like multiple storylines and combine them in one. So it just seems like it's too much like happening right now, personally to me. I just feel like everything tied up into one group with these multiple storylines is it's kind of getting lost in the cluster for me personally.
But I think, and I agree, there is a lot going on. But I think with the true history of a faction, that's kind of how it's supposed to be.
It's a good thing. Yeah, I thought it was a good thing.
All can have their own story, but at the end of the day, they're a group. They can back up each other. If there needs to be a mixed tag, there needs to be a tag, needs to be a 6-man, 4-man, whatever. Like at the end of the day, they're still a group. They're still going to support each other, and they're still going to benefit off each other. So I see what you're saying, but I think it's also on the opposite end where it's like her bringing a women's title to Judgment Day would just bring more, I don't know, prominence to the group itself.
Looking at where they were when they started and where they are now, it makes no sense for her to separate, and adding titles to the faction would only strengthen it, like you just said. I get what you're saying too, Cinko. I just think the opposite result, like for all those reasons, is why she should win the title and why they should stay together as a group.
And I think personally, the reason I say that is because all this stuff is happening with.
It's because you don't like seeing Dom with her. That's all. I know what it is.
That plays a heavy part into it, but at the same
time,
I
know it's about the Billy Goat.
It's just like it's
right there.
This thing with like Finn Balor, it's like he's doing this with a part timer, and the thing I really don't know what's gonna happen with Rey Mysterio's son and Rey Mysterio in the future after this. So I don't know because like we'll talk about it later. Yeah, like it's just confusing right now for me. Like if I wasn't confused on the direction of where Judgment Day will be heading to the future of like their role switches and like maybe their kayfabe, the changes, like being maybe to a heel to like a good guy. Like I don't know what's gonna happen.
Isn't that the beauty of WWE? You never know.
So I'm staying with Charlotte Flair on this one. So I'm gonna do that and leave it there. Yeah.
Well, since we are on the topic of Judgment Day, let's go to another prominent Judgment Day character known as Finn Balor.
I was about to say, you said prominent. I'm like, please let him talk. I swear to God, if he said anybody besides Finn Balor,
we'll get to ex-con Dom eventually. However, we are going to be discussing Finn Balor going one-on-one with the rated R superstar Edge inside Hell in a Cell. Cinko, what do you think is going to win this matchup?
I mean, with that Edge, because this whole feud, he's been like, semi taking L's throughout the whole situation in one way or another. So I feel like this is the final, nail in the coffin for the end of the storyline finally for him to get his revenge over Judgment Day. And I feel like it's a way that probably Damian Priest will probably get involved too as well. So it'll be a way like to finish everything because that's his thing between those two people basically. So I feel like I'll get the Edge. It needs to end because I'm getting tired of it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Harv, what you think?
I do agree it needs to end. I'm not as tired of it as you are. It's one of the other slow burn, more low key storylines that's been going for a while. and it hasn't really been bad since Finn Balor took over. The whole faction has soared since then. I feel that Finn Balor needs to the win more than Edge. Just like you said, it might be the final nail in the coffin. It might be Edge might be about to hang it up again.
He needs to.
That's always a possibility. Finn needs more credibility. He needs to win more big matches. That's really the only reason I think that he should win. I understand why Edge would get it. It's WrestleMania, and it's a big moment type deal, so he probably will win. But I'm going for Finn. I would also like to say I feel like the Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania is a bad idea. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a good idea for a match at WrestleMania.
Do you think, okay, is it just because of WrestleMania, or do you think the bad blood between the two has not risen to the feeling that it needs to be a Hell in a Cell?
On a different venue, I think it would work better than at WrestleMania.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. I don't feel like Hell in a Cell should be at WrestleMania.
Imagine sitting in a nosebleed at
WrestleMania. That's a big reason too, though. Yeah,
and looking at that cell. Because Jay will know about being in a football stadium looking at a pay-per-view. You know, if you have a decent seat, it's okay. But if you are in the rafters,
yeah,
the top level.
Yeah, like with me and Cinko, we had decent seats. We did, but even that was even kind of hard. I couldn't imagine people behind us.
Yeah, like we were at like the peak of, okay, if we were a couple rows higher, this ain't gonna work out.
Shoot. Well, if I were to pick, I'm actually going with Finn Balor, and the reason why is that Edge, in my opinion, even though Edge just came from an injury, Edge is doing the right number of matches he needs to. I know he came back, he's in the best shape of his life, and he's doing these matches, but he's doing the right amount at the right events. And for example, WrestleMania with Finn Balor is perfect, but Edge does not need to win. He doesn't need to win. He doesn't benefit or hurt from losing this match. I feel his whole purpose of even coming back in the first place is to help build the stars that's already there. Edge has already done everything. There's nothing left for him to prove. Finn Balor, on the other hand, who's looked as the lead or co-lead of the Judgment Day, he needs the victory. They're even teasing Finn Balor coming out with the Demon character. Now, of course, I love the Demon character, but that's another reason why he needs to win, because the win-loss record of just Finn Balor by himself and the Demon are almost neck and neck. And if they're going to really push the Judgment Day, them having the Demon in their pocket and using that at certain moments, that's going to do nothing but boost the group. So same thing with Rhea Ripley bringing the Women's Championship over. The fact that Finn Balor got this other persona they can use at serious instances, like that's amazing. So the fact, if he brings it out, goes against Edge at WrestleMania, Hell in a Cell or not, Finn Balor needs the victory. Yeah. Cinko, is your phone unlocked yet?
Yeah, my phone's unlocked now. Thank you. Appreciate it for taking over. I like that. You did well. You did well. Since we are on the topic of the Judgment Day, we're like, fuck it. Let's finish it off with the last member that's on the match card.
Bad. Your boy.
Rey Mysterio's son versus Rey Mysterio is more than likely going to be a match on this card at WrestleMania. It hasn't been announced yet, but the way it's looking has it panning out to be that way. And quick note, side note. First off, congratulations to Rey Mysterio for being inducted into the Year's Hall of Fame. I'll say that. But also, along with that, I just feel like it doesn't make sense to induct an active full-time wrestler into the Hall of Fame. Just my 2 cents. Doesn't make sense at all.
Agreed.
But
he deserves it. He deserves the accolade, but
yes,
this ain't the time.
He definitely deserves it, but it's not the time. And this just goes to show that they're just running out of people to put into the Hall of Fame right now. The only way this makes sense is if this is Rey Mysterio's last match.
Yep. I could see them announcing it that way.
And it's a possibility
for his career.
It's a possibility that this could be his last match, because in a sentimental way, it makes sense, because who wouldn't want their last match to be against their son? Because besides that, I'm like, Who else would Rey Mysterio have to be his last final retirement match?
Yeah.
If A was
old
alive, it would be
rivals
him.
wrestling no more.
Exactly. Like current wrestler right now, or anything like that. Like it makes sense that this could be Rey Mysterio's final match as a full-time wrestler.
Yeah.
So with that, who do you think is going to win this match? Rey Mysterio or Dominic Mysterio? Yes, I actually dressed this movie.
Good job, Cinko. Good job.
Grown up.
He's
I'll
still
go.
trash. So I did that.
It's the small steps. I'll go ahead and take this one first. I feel Rey Mysterio actually needs this victory. If this is going to be his last match, it'll be a great way to send it off. I feel that if ex-con Dom loses against his father, it's not really going to hurt him that much. He can still continue his character. He can still work with the Judgment Day. They can even move on to a completely different feud, and they'll still be fine. And he can even use that as part of his storyline, talking about how, I beat down my father. He cheated to win. I'm still the best. Eddie, I wish he was my, like, he can still work off of that. And like I said, it's a good passing. I don't want to even say passing of the torch because
hell no. Passing a what torch? Passing a candle? Talk about a torch?
I caught myself, Cinko. Leave me alone.
Here we go. Here you go, Dom. Here you go. We finna.
Rey Mysterio victory. Ex-con Dom will be perfectly fine with the loss. If this is his last match, great. If not, if ex-con Dom, if he does win, I can see it going to like another match, the next pay-per-view. But honestly, we don't need it. It's gone on long enough. Rey Mysterio for the win.
Yep, I agree. Rey Mysterio is probably going to win. One of the good things about being a young GOAT is that you don't have to win every match. I'm sure Cinko agrees with that when I'm speaking of Dom. Of Dom. Yeah, of Dom, Rey Mysterio Jr. Yeah. Young GOATs ain't gotta win every single match. So he can survive this, he'll be fine. Honestly, they're not using this character as a serious character. He doesn't have to win this match to still be who he is now and to excel being the type of heel and the character that he's in right now. So yeah, he don't need to win. Rey's gonna take it.
Plus, Rey, he's already done, similar to Edge, he's done everything. There's nothing left to prove. Even when he came back to the WWE, honestly, the only real thing I see him benefiting is helping his son. Like there was nothing left for him. So yeah, Mysterio.
I'm going with Rey Mysterio too as well because it just makes most sense. Like for somebody of his talent and magnitude, and you also cannot lose to your son in a fight. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a fake fight, real fight, choreographed fight, wrestling fight. You cannot lose to your son in a fight, no matter what. Harv, would you ever lose to your sons in a fight?
No, I don't see
exactly.
that. Exactly.
J-Bo, would you ever lose to your sons in a fight?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. There's my point right there. See, it ain't happening. So yeah, so Rey Mysterio has to get this win because if you let your son beat that ass on pay-per-view in front of millions of people, it's a damn shame. Really is. But that's another story for another day. We're gonna move on to the next topic. Let's talk about let's go to the other women's match. We got Bianca Belair against Asuka. This storyline has been a little awkward to me.
Yeah.
I can see that this match is gonna be a great match. They're both talented as hell. They're great workers, the top 3 or 4 women wrestlers in the company. So like I can see it's being a great match, but the storyline is just being a little awkward for me. But at the end of the day, who's gonna win? Asuka or Bianca? Jay, I'm gonna let you go first because you love Bianca.
So my opinion is not really going to mean much because no matter what, I'm going to root for Bianca Belair. But from an analytical standpoint, they are trying to build Asuka to kind of be stronger than she ever has before. Honestly, I don't think they'll ever bring Asuka to the point where she came into NXT, was undefeated for like ever, and then the only way she lost the title was by giving it up due to injury. I don't think they'll ever like get her to that point, and they're really trying to by giving her, her old Japan character that she has now, but regardless, I don't see Asuka winning, and that's not even fully biased. I don't see where else they can go with this. And that same argument can always be said either way. But regardless, Bianca Belair, I see her winning. It's going to be a hard fought. It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be better than Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, but Bianca Belair is going to go for the win.
Yeah, this one's more of a toss-up, definitely. Because they're both really talented, and both of them. It's like where do they go from here? Like you just said, Bianca's broken records now. She held the title for Hellas. She really doesn't need it anymore. I feel like Asuka needs it more for her career. But yeah, it could go either way. I'm rooting for Asuka. I'm never rooting against Bianca Belair, but I think Asuka's gonna win. That's my opinion.
I'm going for Bianca Belair because I remember the past times I bet against her, I lost. So this is going to be the one time I choose her because I feel like, past matches I picked against her and I was wrong. So yeah, I'm not doing this again. So Bianca,
that too is true.
Yeah, so Bianca for the win. You better win because I want this to be the one time I bet on you and I lose.
Hey man,
betting on black. Let's go. All right, next topic. Let's see what we got. Fuck it. Brock Lesnar and Omos.
Man.
0 out of 10 interest.
This match really just got thrown in the woodwork, and I have no idea how and why, but here we are. This is going to be Omos's third straight WrestleMania match, though. Congrats.
Man, it's a good rub, but
right.
Nope.
Yeah, so Lesnar, Omos, Harv.
Lesnar. Come on. Hey, Lesnar. Yeah.
That's it.
That's all I got.
Right, J-Bo.
Say about this. I don't know what else to say.
I don't care either, but for the sake of our listeners, I'll give some type of analytical opinion. For Omos, it's not believable that he's even in this position. And I'm not going to take away complete credit because even when he debuted the AJ Styles and tag team match, he did more than what we expected for him. So it was good. It was good. But since then, it hasn't been that important. And for the fact that you not only have a one-on-one match with Brock Lesnar, but you have a one-on-one match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, the same location of which he lost last year to Roman Reigns. It does not make sense for his current position. I don't see anything else in the future for him other than Vinnie Mac, just continuing to push him down our throats. So I'm going with Lesnar here. The only way I can see Lesnar losing is if he truly does not care about what happens because he's getting paid great money and he just being here to show up. So Lesnar for the win. I'm going with that.
I'm going for Lesnar for the win because I just feel like this may be another way to try to make Omos look stronger as he is. But, to make him look strong as hell would be, getting a dominant win over the beast incarnate. But that's not going to happen. And I could tell by like this. I can't say I could tell, but for the last episode of Raw that we saw, and they had their little encounter with each other and how Omos like maybe messed up a little bit with getting less out the ring. He looked at him like, this is going to be a long match.
If Omos wins, and like you said, if he has a dominant performance, Brock Lesnar does not care anymore.
Right.
Does not, period.
So I'm picking Lesnar for this match.
Omos needs some kind, like, he don't look like the Edge, man. Like, he doesn't look like he has it, He's not terrible in the ring. He's way better than I thought he would be. And he moves well, especially for a dude that size. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's not believable. Even if he went out there and he showed a completely different demeanor while he whooped Brock Lesnar's ass, maybe. But if he won as is, and even if he dominated, made wrestling look like a little bit, I don't think anybody would. They still wouldn't be invested in him. It's just something about the way that he carries the character that's not putting him. It's just not working.
That's true. I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, next match we got John Cena against Austin Theory. This is actually a match I'm looking forward to with this one. It can really go either way. Well, probably more like not because the United States title's online. So we probably know who's gonna win this match, which is Austin Theory. I feel like he's gonna win too at the same time. But I'm feeling the build up though. I'm feeling the build up. It's been short though, short and sweet, but I like it so far. Right, because I'm Austin Theory is growing on me more, so I'll probably say that. But I feel like you got a lot to say that's on your mind. So we're gonna let you speak first about this match. So Cena versus Theory. Who you got?
Somebody called Austin Theory better Brad Maddox.
Damn.
Wow.
And I'm looking for the lie in this statement.
Wow.
You know, my biggest problem really with the whole build to this match is Cena buried that man verbally. Okay. We can do that here because that's kind of our job is to, or at least mine is to talk shit a little bit, be a little bit of a hater. But the way Cena, even if Theory goes out and wins the match and has a really respectable outing, those clips are never going to go away of how Cena did him. Verbally, he buried that man. And in the world that we live today, clips, those short clips, and especially when you're talking trash and you hit somebody with some hard shit and it just gets replayed over and over and over, I feel like that did more damage than anything in this match is going to do. Of course, he's going to win. Cena has a busy schedule. He doesn't have time to come back for a season. He can't risk his body like that to be coming back and having a prolonged stint in the WWE to that degree. So I just don't see him winning, but I don't see this as being the big rub that people want it to be for Theory.
Harv, I hate how right that you are sometimes because when you I'll
Look,
be
you doing the
honest,
Orton pose.
when you said that you made me think of a particular situation lately on social media, and I don't know if you guys been seeing it, but there's been a clip going around of when John Cena and The Rock were feuding, and it was the moment where John Cena noticed that The Rock had written his scripts on his wrist, and that year The Rock won. The Rock won, but that clip is what's still being resurfaced 10 years later. It's ridiculous. And so
that hurt The Rock as a trash talker in the business. It truly did. For a long time, people wasn't looking at The Rock the same.
And that's what, to your point, that really has hurt the match between Austin Theory and Cena at this point. Now, there is some saving grace because we all know John Cena and The Rock, they wasn't going to have like this wrestling clinic. We knew that wasn't going to happen. But in my opinion, Austin Theory not only needs to win, not only does he need to win clean, but he needs to have that win look believable, 100%, all the way through. He went back and forth. He hit him with moves. There's no way that Super Cena could survive through. Like, that's the only way that there is some type of light at the end of the tunnel because of that promo that John Cena did on him. So yes, that hurt him bad. And that light is getting even more dimmer for Austin Theory. But that's the only way at this point that I can see Austin Theory coming out somewhat on top at the end. But yes, Austin Theory for the win.
Austin Theory got hit A-Town down on Cena 3 times in a row for me to believe it now.
You need to bust his damn head to the white meat. What do you
right. You better put him to sleep.
You need to get a ball peen and just crack him across the top of his, across the crown. Need to crack his shit. The only way.
Then get some topic and shake across his ball spot in the back of his head.
Get some spray paint and hit that ball spot. Do some NWO style.
Holding spray. No.
Come on, man.
Cool. Next match we got on the card, we got Damage Control against Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm going with Damage Control in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't see like the benefit for these two legends and Becky Lynch winning, and it's also awkward that Lita and Becky Lynch have the tag team titles too. So that has to be taken off sooner or
Extremely
later
awkward.
because they're not going to be full-time wrestlers. So, yes, something's going to happen with that match. I'm not sure what it is, but something's going to happen. Somebody's going to turn on somebody on this team of legends and Becky. I don't know which one it's going to be, but somebody's going to do something. But I'm going with Damage Control in this match.
This is probably the most pointless match on the card.
No, almost is, but
that's right up there with it. But this is really absolutely pointless. Them winning the tag titles was pointless. I mean, it just goes to show exactly what I've been saying since the titles existed. They just throw teams together, give them the titles until they find another team to throw together, give them the titles. It makes no sense. Everybody loved Lita and Trish, but they're 250-year-old legends. They're not going to be there full time. It's in the long term, the match doesn't matter. But I'm going to go with Damage Control because they need to win more.
I'm equally going for Damage Control. I would have loved if Trish Stratus, Lita, they had some type of build where they are going to go for the tag titles at WrestleMania. That would have been more of a sale. And back to Harv's point, yeah, Trish and Lita, they're older. Even if they win the titles, we're not expecting for them to hold the belt long or even have these 5-star matches defending the belt. But they bring a certain star power that the women's tag team division does not have at all. And then having Lita and Becky as tag team champions, but teaming them up with Trish Stratus to go against Damage Control, there's so many awkward parts just thrown together that the result is unnecessary. But at the end, Damage Control for the win.
That's gonna be a clunky ass match.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But that's Hollywood for you. You know what to expect from it. Yeah, moving on. We got another match on the way. Speaking of Hollywood, we got another Hollywood, persona. Not necessarily Hollywood, but mainstream along those lines. We got Logan Paul against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, obviously, I don't see how and why Logan Paul would get a win over Seth Rollins. I don't see how one-on-one. I doesn't make sense. Seth Rollins, because Logan Paul wins is kind of confusing.
Yeah.
I don't like Logan Paul, but it's gonna piss me off because they're gonna make me like him during the match. He's gonna do something that's gonna be like, damn, he was cold. And we're gonna fall in that trap again like we did the last match. So with him and Roman Reigns. So but
it's easy for me to give people credit and still not like them. So I don't have that problem.
Well, good for you, Harv. So who you got for this match?
I agree with what you're saying. I think that Seth needs to win, but I also kind of think that for Logan Paul to stay in the position that he's in, he kind of needs to win too. Not as bad as Seth. Seth has been losing a lot over the past year, putting a lot of other people over, which is understandable for his position. He's more of a veteran in the company than most other wrestlers on the roster. But going forward, especially because the main events scene is so thin, they're going to need Seth Rollins sooner rather than later as far as a world title contendership. So I'm going to go with Seth Rollins.
Cool.
I agree fully. Seth Rollins, not only does he need the victory, but back to Hart's point, wrestlers of Seth Rollins' stature, they can lose a good number of matches and be good, but there comes a point where it's like, all right, how many more matches are you going to lose for us to look at you continuously as a believable main eventer? And Logan Paul should not be the one to continue. Logan Paul, honestly, yes, he can lose, and it is going to question his position, but I don't think anyone is truly looking at Logan Paul as a legitimate in-ring wrestler in the long haul anyway. So he can lose this match, he can lose the next match. The fact is, people are watching. He's bringing attention to it. I think he can lose and still be fine, and then just win whatever the next match is. Seth Rollins needs to win a bit more, so I'm going with Rollins.
Cool, you got that in there. The Messiah, Mr. Dress to Impress. Let's see who else we got on this card. You said what?
Title match.
You said what?
The Intercontinental title match.
Oh yeah, we haven't figured that. Well, the match is gonna get announced tonight once we figure it out. But Gunther against either Sheamus or Drew McIntyre, or it might be both.
That's what I'm hoping for. They might as well triple threat it up.
Yep.
That's gonna be the hardest hitting match on the card anyway. Like that. I'm looking forward to that one. Gunther, he's done a good job of making it to where he's must see. A lot of people are looking forward to his matches more than anybody else's, and that's a great spot to be in. You know, Sheamus is consistent as hell, and Drew McIntyre, he don't get tired either. So I mean, it's gonna be a good match. Gunther's gonna retain. I feel like he needs it more. He needs to continue on this train that he's on and just keep on kicking ass the way he's been kicking ass. But I think it's probably gonna be one of the top 3 matches of both nights.
This is actually my most anticipated matchup. I think it is going to be a triple threat match as well. I like it not just because of the wrestling aspect of it, but also, in my opinion, I don't think really any of them really need a loss. If you look at Gunther, for example, he's dominant, terrific upper mid card, star-studded matches, as Harv mentioned. People are interested in his matches, period. Drew McIntyre really can't take the loss because ever since he lost the WWE Championship, he's just been in this awkward fold and just nowhere prominent for him to be in. Sheamus, I think out of all 3 of them, he could take the loss, but again, he's already lost 2 Intercontinental title matches against Gunther, and this is also one of the belts he has not obtained in order for him to be a Grand Slam champion. So none of them really can take the loss. I feel if anyone were to pick, it would be Sheamus. And yes, Gunther definitely needs to defend because not only is he bringing the Intercontinental title back to importance that it hasn't been for years, honestly, he's keeping that match sacred as what he has been saying over and over. But Gunther is just an all-around wrestling attraction for the WWE, something that the WWE truly, truly needs to have and continue with. So Gunther for the win.
Well, J-Bo threw out one of the key points I was thinking about with Sheamus because that was my pick to win this match if he gets into this match because of the fact he hasn't won the Intercontinental title and that's all he needs to win the Grand Slam champion. I feel like this will be the time to get that recognition on the grand stage of them all in wrestling history. So I'm picking Sheamus personally. But like I said,
I do think he needs that moment. I agree with that. I just don't think it needs to be at Mania because he's always going to be a legend for winning in 6 seconds, kicking Daniel Bryan's head off and winning. That's always going to be his moment.
Yeah. But Bill,
I didn't realize that that's a title that he didn't have to be Grand Slam champion though.
Yeah, like that's the good way, like to get that Grand Slam championship in at WrestleMania. So that's my 2 cents right there. Next possibility on the card we have, it would be the undisputed tag team titles. Usos against somebody.
We know who it's going to be.
More likely Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But yeah, for that match, I don't know. I really don't know because it all depends on this championship match.
I don't think it does. I think it depends on if it is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they win the titles hands down. Yeah. It has to happen. If it is them, if they throw some swerve and throw some other partner in there with them, then it's a toss up. But if it's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, all they've been through this year with the bloodline, they're going to win the titles.
And I've spoken on this on numerous episodes already, so I'm just going to say Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn for the win. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usos. All right. Next. Final match. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Who do y'all have?
I have an option. My choice.
Hold on. We all gonna say at the same time who we think gonna win.
That's fine.
So after the count of 3, y'all ready?
Yep.
You ready, Harv? All right, cool. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns.
Cody Rhodes. Cody Luther King, as you called him once.
That's right.
Even throwing them promos out there, I see why you call him that. Out there in them suits, you know what I'm saying? He do look like a pale Mr. King out there, but it's all good. I think it's just built for it. it's been built around it. That's pretty much the whole point of this WrestleMania is to crown him finally. I prefer Roman Reigns still. I think that he needs to continue. I mean, just keep holding that mug. I don't see any point to take it off of him, but I think that they are going to take it off of him and give it to Rose.
Me mentioning Roman Reigns, it was difficult, but the reason why I'm picking him is honestly the same reason why Harv picked Cody. They're setting it up for Cody Rhodes, and they're giving him all this spotlight and recognition. To me, it just seems a little too perfect. Like every week he's on top. He has great mic work. Yeah, he had his recent promo work with Roman Reigns that went back and forth, but like he's been hugging the kids and taking the pictures and winning these matches regularly as they're supposed to do. But just everything just seems so perfect. Like it's almost a guarantee that he's going to win. Where at WrestleMania, it's a swerve. Where Roman Reigns proves like, hey man, it's still not your time. Not saying that Cody won't win the belt, just not at WrestleMania. Another reason why, and y'all can judge me as much as y'all want to, but I'm still looking at Jey Uso eventually. I do. I just think that his moment at Royal Rumble should not be ignored. It shouldn't be ignored.
That's too smart for WWE. That's the only reason I don't agree with that one. But I'm with you. I would love for Jey Uso to be the one to take the title off of him.
I just feel that entire moment that was built at the Royal Rumble, it can't just be for a small swerve just for him to tag back up with his brother. I just don't believe that. I feel that in the long run, out of everyone that Roman Reigns has been through, that the one person to take it off is his own bloodline member, his own kinfolk, main event Jey Uso himself. Cody Rhodes will get it. Don't get me wrong. I think Roman Reigns is going to beat him, but Jey Uso will finally break out and say, I am done. Finally had that one more match with Roman Reigns, and he's the one to take it off. And then probably Cody will take it from Jey. I can see that. But that's what I see. I know it's a little far-fetched, but that's what I'm going with. So Roman Reigns
is going to be so
I get it. I just don't.
And random. It's not random, but it's going to be wild to see Jey Uso as the world champion.
Do you see Cody Rhodes leaving AEW for less than WrestleMania though? Like seriously, do you think he left without a guaranteed WrestleMania win? You think that he would take it on a lesser show?
Well, he got his WrestleMania win last year, and he'll get his
didn't get a WrestleMania win for the title. The title. He's guaranteed that title. I know damn well that's in the contract. Yes, I don't think he would have left AEW for less than that WrestleMania WWE Championship win. I don't think he would.
I'll say Roman Reigns because of the fact he hasn't held for 1,000 days yet, and I think they're waiting to do that for him.
I would love that. I want it to be Roman Reigns. I'm trying to think from the WWE scope.
Right, yeah.
And from the Cody Rhodes scope, of course, because I mean he came back for 3 months and then he was out and now he's back again. He on top. He riding the damn, riding that momentum and shit. I just don't see him leaving that damn company for less than WrestleMania, for less than that recognition. Winning it on any other stage is not the same. SummerSlam, okay, but it's not the same.
It could also be on the merit of who's directing that storyline. If it's McMahon, then obviously it's going to be Cody Rhodes. But if it's going to be Hunter, who's going to be driven into the storyline, I can see Roman Reigns winning for something much deeper. I don't know. I completely agree with you, Harv. I completely agree. It's just, I don't know. I just want to believe in something more that's coming out of this than the obvious assumed Cody Rhodes victory.
It's only one way to find out and see, and that is to watch WrestleMania. April 2nd, the last day on that Sunday, when that main event happens between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. And this is the last question I got before we sign off on this episode. And it's it's the thing about it, after WrestleMania, who do you think is going to be that next superstar that gets a push? Just one superstar.
Carmelo Hayes.
I hope and pray.
I can see him. If he don't take the belt from Braun, definitely Carmelo Hayes.
I hope and pray.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'll piggyback off that. If Carmelo Hayes does take it, Braun Breaker. Yeah, let me piggyback off that.
I'm gonna just say good luck to him. But hope and pray for Carmelo Hayes. I'm gonna go with Montez Ford for me.
That's who I was thinking.
Yeah, I feel like the signs are there now. And if Roman Reigns loses the title and then he's gonna be off TV for a while, the whole WWE roster is gonna be spread out, far-fetched. Anything is possible at that point. It's a lot of open doors, open avenues for a multitude of opportunities. They'll be out there for like winning titles and winning prominent matches and stuff like that. Having certain people that's on the mid card should be on the upper card on that level, and open opportunities for the mid card level and for them to shine. So yeah, I'm going with Montez Ford.
I would think him. But over the last couple of weeks, me personally, I want to see Chad Gable and Otis get pushed. If we're not specifying main event wise, I feel like they've been killing it over the past year. Otis is like a big ass ball of charisma. That dude, he take anything and make it entertaining, and the crowd loves him. Yeah. And Chad Gable is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and he's just as entertaining. Yeah, like it's hard to deny at this point. I think that they need to be pushed as far and as hard as they can.
He's a big ball of charisma.
He is. He's pure charisma, dude. That dude is hilarious. He take anything and make it work for him.
I remember I sent a text out to you all that because we all know that the male models, they were clearly failing, but with Otis being involved in it like that, I have not been more interested in the next segment for the male models since Otis has been a part of it. Like he is single.
I was clutching my stomach laughing at that, man. That was hilarious to me. Yeah, they need to do something with these dudes. They really do.
Yeah. So that's gonna be the road of WrestleMania. We're gonna see what happens in LA. But until then, that is all the time we have. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching, and thank y'all for following the whole Know the Ropes podcast crew. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And before we sign out, y'all got to do this one simple favor for us, and that is to follow us on all social media platforms, KTR_podcast, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. No Ropes Podcast, Facebook, YouTube, No Ropes Podcast on all podcast platforms. Got Google Podcasts, got Spotify, we got Anchor, got Apple Podcasts, got Podbean, we're on everything. And don't forget to get that merch at ProWrestlingTees.com/KTR Podcast. This is episode 68. Know the Ropes Podcast, #KTR. We are KTR, and we are out.
What should they do, Big Harv?
Pump those numbers, baby. See you at WrestleMania.
That don't compute in my mind. I must be out of mind. Black fist high, rally up before we out of time.